then,
So right click and then click hide presenter view.
can you guys see it normally?
It should be full screen on your end now.
It is. Is it full screen on your guys' end?
Now go into Discord, right? And under share your screen, there should be two of them. There's one with the actual slideshow and
Okay, I got it. I think. There we go. Sorry for the
there you go.
sorry for the
There
wait,
we
y'all.
go. Thank you.
Okay. So, welcome to the DTC May 2020 meeting. I hope you guys are doing all good today. So let's just get right into it. Um, so in the meeting, I want to discuss a couple of important topics. The first topic I want to discuss is the end of the school year. Um, so I want to, like most other companies do, I want to make the ending of the school year different than regular routes, but also have fun at the same time. Um, so I prepared a calendar on the side. Um, so I have this calendar for the rest of the year. We have 12 more days left. I put this in Training Channel too. So we have a couple of events. We're going to be doing two more field trips this year during regular route time that are still mandatory unless you call out, but they're still expected. You're still expected to show up like you would be for routes. Um, and then we are on. We're using old vehicles and and we're using the current map for this weekend. And then we have regular routes just with old buses in Rackton. We have wrong side of the road day and Rackton with our current content, and old map with current buses. Wrong side of the road day and Westerbridge with old vehicles instead of Rackton with current. So yeah, we just have a whole bunch of different forms of fun activities for the end of the school year. We're going to be using some of our older vehicles, which are Grayson C2, 2Gs T3, Jason CE, um, the same A3 FEs we have in now, and Volk Thomas FS65 and 3800 back, and then some little extra things like a train and airplane too. So that is the calendar. So for this weekend, you guys need. I'm going to make a final announcement later tonight of when everything on the drive is updated. I'm pretty sure it is. I might change a little bit, but we're going to be using old vehicles this weekend starting tomorrow. So please make sure you have the old vehicles downloaded. Um, I'm pretty sure everything should be accurate on there. I'll double check right after the meeting, let you guys know an announcement. But everything should be in the drive under the vehicles folder, and then they're inside the vehicles folder. There's a folder called old vehicles. And we're using the current map for this weekend, so still using Rockton. I just want to explain this for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be doing our high school AM routes. And instead of carrying on for AM, then we would be doing a field trip in between. So we'll stay at the high school, we'll do a field trip, and then we'll head over to the high school. Or once we're done with the field trip, then we'll head back to the high school and do PM routes for high school, and that should last about an hour. So no longer than regular route times. And then the rest of the year is pretty much AM and PM staggered, and then another field trip. And the last 2 days of routes are regular days with regular content. Saturday and Sunday, or June 13th and 14th, are last. Or those are regular days, like how we have been doing this whole year. So I just want to reiterate again, we want to have fun with all of these. Obviously, we want to be realistic still. It's, with the wrong side of the road day, we still want to drive properly. We just it's not on the correct side of the road. That doesn't mean you can go off-roading, or that doesn't mean you can be like hitting other people. You still are expected to do everything you just as normal, besides what I tell you to do, or what the event is supposed to be doing. Let's make sure we end this year strong, positive. Let me know if you guys are having any concerns or issues, because I want to make you guys have your time here enjoyable. And we want to bring back some old memories of using Westerbridge old content, just some of the old times we had as some of you guys were in here for the first DTC, some of you guys are new. And yeah, we just want to enjoy some old memories. So that is it for the end of this year. Well, that's for this slide. Um, on here I have, this is the Westerbridge map. Um, And so we're going to be doing things a little bit differently in Westerbridge. We're not using it this weekend, and then next weekend we don't have routes because that's Memorial Day weekend. The weekend after, we use Westerbridge, and we'll be using Westerbridge a little bit differently. Um, so we'll be doing our every driver will go to RMS and every driver will go to NMS. So we'll be doing our RMS routes first, all 12 buses, or all 14 buses. There's no assigned order. That doesn't mean fight for who's in first, just there's no assigned order. Though. Then we have high school routes. Then like this year we had assigned transfer buses and assigned parking for high school. That's not the same. Typically, what I used to do is I just asked a couple people that day if they wanted to do a transfer. Um, and yeah, so it'll be different each day. And if y'all want to do one, you can. If you don't, that's fine. And then our NMS routes are third. So all the drivers go to both MSs, so you still have 3 runs. And that's the map. This is a rough route for all the stops combined. There will be separate pictures though on the drive later, because we're still not doing that for 2 weekends because we have this weekend and the next weekend's off, and then the following weekend is when we're actually starting to use Westerbridge for that weekend. So that's Westerbridge. Now I want to talk about our summer activities. I talk. This is all very brief. A lot can be changed though. This is very tentative. Right now, I plan on starting July 10th. We end the school year June 14th, so I'm gonna add or ask at the end. I don't know if you guys like that's pretty much a month gap, or if you guys would prefer to start the summer activities a little bit earlier than June 10th or July 10th. So I'll ask you guys later, and then we have our end date being Wednesday, August 5th. So I plan right now doing Wednesdays and Saturdays. That can completely change. Um, I really need feedback from y'all. If y'all are busy those days, I understand. We'll probably send out a poll, or if y'all have these aren't mandatory too. Obviously, I'm going to be putting out a form asking you guys like if you want one, and then you'd be expected to show up. Or if you don't, if you want the summer off, that's fine. So on Wednesdays and this is very tentative, which means not set in stone. Um, I have the summer events being 9 to 9:45 Eastern. I'm not sure if y'all think that's too late or not. But keep in mind there'll be summer too, so y'all might be doing stuff during the day or whatever. And it's gonna be more laid back than the regular school year. You don't have to have great attendance, but still, if you sign up for something, make sure you're being there somewhat. So for Wednesdays, we'd be doing summer school AM runs and PM runs. And then on Saturdays, at the same time, 9 to 9:30, on those, we'd be doing church runs on Rackton with our regular content. So now I'm going to be talking about next year. Um, Next year, you may or may not have heard, I've been posting on a couple Discords and in general here, sneak peeks of next year. I've decided to do Lamers Bus Lines. It's another Wisconsin-based company. Um, and I'm sure you all have questions about it. I promise I'll answer your questions at the end. So our tentative start date, and I know this is really early. If we're doing weekends next year, which are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, would either be September 11th or 12th. the 12th is a Saturday, but if we do Fridays, then it'd be the 11th. This is really early. That's just a plan. Or we'd start sometime in September. We wouldn't start in August. That's what I'm trying to say. Route days and times, I said before, are to be determined. We're not for sure doing 5 o'clock Eastern. Still, we most likely are going to change that. But we still have like 4 months until we need to figure that out for sure. So we still got time. A lot can change in between then. So I want to give you guys some information, but I don't want to be telling you like for sure route times are at this time and our dates and all that started. One thing I want to let you guys know is that we're going to be having a very, very diverse fleet. As you can see on the top right, we're gonna have a ton of different buses. I'm gonna say all these different types now. We're gonna have some Jasons, TC 2000s, some Bluebird 3800s, some Bluebird FS65s, Thomas 3800s, Thomas FS65s, Thomas S1800s, Amtran 3800s, some Bluebird A3Fs, some Bluebird Chevys, some first gen Cs, second gen CEs, third gen CEs, um, first gen BVVs, second gen BVVs, third gen BVVs, um, and then we're going to be having a couple of T3s, T3FEs, and then um, one C2. So we're going to have a very diverse fleet. There's like 16, at least, I'm pretty sure I counted up, there's like 16 different bus models. So we're going to have a very diverse fleet that doesn't, so obviously we won't have like 10 of each bus. We're gonna have two or three of each of the older buses and then like five of the newer types of buses. That roster is not finalized yet. That's just the general idea. So we want to be very different. We're also not going to be strictly white roof or yellow roof. We're going to have uh, some buses that have white roof, some buses that have yellow roof. We're just going to not have everything realistic. We're going to have some, I guess, fun. We don't have to be following a company strict. It's a company that exists in real life, but we don't have to make everything realistic. So specs will be diverse. I think is a good thing. I think it's good to be different. And then some of our lighting systems too. Some of the buses won't have ambers and just have reds. Most of the buses will have ambers and reds because I know most of you guys like that. So we want to be different. We want to have fun. We want to, and also I want to make this clear. We, if you haven't been in a transition from one of my companies, so if you weren't here from Lakeland to DTC this year, or from DTC or DTC 1.0 to Lakeland, I don't carry the staff team over, which could be a bad thing and can be a good thing. Um, that means that all of you guys, every single one of you guys, have an equal chance to become staff next year. September, this is again not set in stone, but usually I run solo on a staff team by myself for the first like 2 weeks of September, 3 weeks. I send out applications for staff, and then I see based off the applications who's interested in being staff, who I think would be a good staff, and my main factors are you a good person? Do you like treat others well? Um, are you active? What can you bring to the company? Just because you're active doesn't necessarily mean that you're fit to be a staff member. And I'm not saying that in a bad way or a good way. I'm just saying that just because you're active doesn't mean you'll get staff. There's many other factors where I think that staff members need to have. So you guys all have an equal chance to become staff. So um, that can be a good thing. If you want to be staff and you're not staff this year, You can work hard, show your dedication, and you could probably end up as being a staff member next year. So, um, that is all I have for the meeting. Before y'all start going, though, um, I want to unmute you guys and just ask if you guys have any questions. In the process of unmuting you guys right now. Um, okay, here. Let me go. Let me let me go down the line. Deshaun, do you have any questions regarding this year or next year or anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Austin, do you have anything?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. Uh, Andy, did you talk to them about the schedule for the next couple of
Yes.
weeks?
Yeah, the
Yes.
plan.
Okay. So just to let y'all know, the DTC Airbus will be used at some point. So if you do not have it downloaded, please download that and keep it in your zip file because I don't know when we're going to use it. I have no plan at the moment, but just it's a very low file size, so it shouldn't be a long download. So just keep it in there. Also,
Um,
just to comment about the staff thing, um, as Andy said, we're not there. He's not picking favorites or anything like that. So if you really want to be a staff member, start setting a good example for other people and continue to be on your best behavior because that definitely will not go unnoticed.
yep.
That's it for me.
Okay. Evan, do you have any questions or concerns?
I do. For next year, how are you going to be letting us choose buses? Is it by seniority, just by random first come first serve, or how is that going to work?
Okay. Um, so, for bus assignments, I most likely am going to either do some sort of list. I'm not going to be doing random. It's probably going to be like I'm probably going to have a something where seniority puts into play, but also your activeness this year will put
Yeah,
into play too. So just because you're towards the bottom of the seniority list doesn't mean you would be one of the last ones to pick. Um, I would put it like 50%, or like it wouldn't be just the seniority list or just the most active, it'd be a combination of both, if that makes sense. And also, I'm not sure yet if um, sub drivers are going to have their own bus or if they're going to drive whatever the route they're covering is. I most likely will just do if the sub wants to have a bus, they can do that, or as if they don't want to, they don't have to.
okay.
Ryan, anything?
No.
Connor, B,
Number one bus driver over here. Number one.
Connor, C, 5. No, okay.
Five.
Earth to bus driver 5.
David, I
Bus
think
driver.
David,
Yeah.
you, you don't have to, from if it was your username, you don't have to. Drivers um, won't have to necessarily reapply. There will be a form, like a renewal form, just saying, hey, would you want to participate next year? Um, it would just be pretty much like, I guess I would want to participate this year, and then questions about what would your ranking want to be? Would you want a bus or would you want to be switching buses?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Question.
Yes.
For how I don't know. We don't necessarily have a parking like who's gonna be in front, but for the lot for AM, if we ever do AM routes, in Westerbridge, how exactly what parking space are we? Or is that
The
just
lot is practically the same.
Yeah, the lot is the same exact thing, but y'all might not be y'all might not be in the same buses either. Because we have CEs too, and we have a couple other different buses, so there's no assigned order too, so I don't think necessarily the lot parking is gonna really matter because the first school we're gonna be doing is well, for AM it won't matter because we're gonna be all going to the same school, or we're all going to the same schools for all schools, so I don't think it's really gonna matter either way. Carson doesn't have anything. Ray, do you have anything? Okay. Um, Reese? No?
no? No, I don't think.
Spongy?
No.
Troy? Troy?
No.
Okay. No, that's fine. Okay, so, just before y'all go, I wanna just again say that well, first of all, thank you guys for coming to the meeting, and thank you guys for being a part of DTC this year. I really appreciate you guys' time spent towards the company dedication. Um, and I hope we have a good ending of the year. I will be posting an announcement tonight about the content for tomorrow because we're going to be using the old content for tomorrow. Keep the A3FEs, the Bluebird A3FEs in still because those are the same exact things, but I'll reiterate that in the announcement later tonight. If you have slow download, I'm pretty sure everything that's on the drive now will be what or nothing's I don't think is going to get changed for the old content that's up. But I'll put an announcement up in about an hour for sure. Or put out an announcement up in an hour for the content for tomorrow.
Also, may I add? I think if you were in DTC a few when we had this old content, it should theoretically be the same. The only thing I think that is different is the FS65 because there was a different number or something that we discovered.
Yeah. I
Hey,
mean,
Otherwise,
they
I
that's
have
probably
another question.
yes.
Andy, how are you going to be assigning buses for the old content day?
That actually is a good question. I was just thinking that too. So like tomorrow we have C's in effect, I guess, because we're using old buses. So um, most likely, either I'll put out a form tonight or I'll PM you guys individually. What buses you guys want to drive? You guys can stay in the C2 you're in. It'll be Grayson C2 though. Or you guys can drive a CE, T3, A3, FS65, 3800. Um, so yeah, I'm going to be either doing a poll tonight where you just put like which model you prefer the best or whatever, or what numbers, and then I'd go from there. Or I might just PM you each day or something like that.
Okay.
Okay, if no one else has any questions or anything, thank you guys for coming to the meeting. Sorry for going a little bit extra of what I said I was going to. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
You
you
too.
too. Have a good night.
I'm my niggas piece. I'll see y'all later.
Good night.
See ya.
Troy, blame admin. Oh, he